Good morning, everyone, or whatever time it is when you see this. I let Oskar sleep on the table because the sun is really nice right now. Sorry, guys, my voice is sometimes pretty raspy in the morning. I'm not a smoker, but it still is. Oskar, are you sleeping in the sun? He loves sleeping in the sun, so I just put his little dog bed here up the table. Obviously gonna clean it once he's not on the table anymore, before I use the table for eating. But for now it's Oscar's little sun bathing spot. Oh, shucks. You're sleepy. We just got back from our morning walk like 30 minutes ago, and now he's ready for his morning nap. Oskar loves taking his after walk naps, especially for the first morning walk. He always takes a long nap after that. My cats are fighting, but yeah, so cute. You sweetie. Kisses. I'm stealing the sun away from you, I know. I know. You can have the sun to yourself. I'm gonna start cooking Oscar's food now. I just wanted to show you this cutie pie over there. I'm just gonna put him here in the background for now. So my water is boiling right now for Oscar's chicken thighs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, like last time, I thought he's gonna fall off the table. So I'm gonna have an iron him. My cat was sitting on the table with him, but she smacked him in the face or slapped him in the face, and that was not very nice, but my cat is a little rascal. Oscar, you wanna get off the table? Yeah? Okay, you can get off the table. Hi. Oscar, you wanna get off? There you go. Put this away. Why are you so upset, you little one? Shucks, I know. Hi everyone. We're about to cook some food for my little rescue Winnie. He doesn't like his dry food, so we'll make some home-cooked food today. Hi Marco. Well, you put it out there. I was a little scared for a second. I was like, oh, you never know. Everything is, thank you, Eric. Everything is possible with Marco's channel. But, yeah. Empty. I do some ASMR. Don't people do that with their nails? Where's my cup? I had a cup. Oh, wow. How's everyone's morning going? Thanks, Eric. It's just one. I just got one ring. I'm not a huge jewelry person, so It's just the one ring. The one ring to rule them all. Luckily it's not that one, although that would be pretty cool to have that one ring. If you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, let's not get too Lord of the Ringy here, and let's get starting with our chicken thighs. And I gotta think what I want to put into the food today. I don't have much here right now, so it will probably be some brown rice and I just gotta find it. I know I have some rice. Found it. Okay, so we got some brown rice. So I'm gonna cook the chicken with the brown rice so it can all cook at once, so I don't have to wait for one or the other. You got the 9-year-old something throwback? I don't see. Oh, did you just delete it, Marco? Well, I don't mind trolls usually, you know me. Like, I think it's more amusing than anything. But they're probably not aware of it, how amusing they are. Eric, Marco's son, you sound Scandinavian. I'm excited for the trolls on Saturday, Marco, on your channel. That's gonna be fun. We'll have a good time. I hope it's gonna be me and Shuriken and hopefully Danny as well, so we can keep it under control. Because I know your trolls are a little bit more trolly or daring than mine. I do get some funny ones sometimes. I haven't had any like super like mean ones or anything, but it might also be because I don't really get offended by it, so maybe that's why I don't think it is mean. I leave Catalina online. You do whatever you want. Is she here on my stream right now, or you were talking about your own? But yeah, she's here on my stream. Welcome, Catalina. I hope you have a good time. I'm Norwegian, French, Irish, Scottish, and English ancestry. Yeah, I was thinking about Norwegian. That was my first guess. With Eric in general, very Scandinavian name, and Marco's son, of course. So you probably come from a long line of Marcus in your family. Everyone was the son of a Marcus. I don't speak any Norwegian, only Swedish a little bit, but it's very similar to Norwegian. So if a Norwegian person talks, I can understand, I wouldn't say most, but a big chunk of it. I live in San Diego, California. Oh, nice. We have a big California fan here. Marco, he lived in California before. Sorry for just saying that, Marco. I forgot to ask you first for permission to say that. But I know you usually don't make it a secret. But I only heard very good things about San Diego. How do you like it, Eric? Have you always lived in San Diego, or have you lived somewhere else before? So I'm putting the chicken thighs into the boiling water now. Just put a little bit like this. Number one. Got 4 pieces all together, and I unthawed it last night. Hi, Boo. How are you doing? How was your birthday party, or how was your birthday in general, even if you didn't have a party? I don't have parties on my birthdays anymore, so sorry for assuming you had a birthday party. I'm cooking food for Oscar right now. The weekly meal prep, you know the deal. So I got those chicken thighs with bones, and I'm gonna boil them in water so it creates this nice rich broth for Oscar, which is good for his old body, I guess. I didn't realize that you were going to be live this early. Yeah, me neither. I didn't know either I'm going to be live this early, but I have to start work late today, so it will be better for me to do it now than later, and Oscar will be hungry for lunchtime, so I thought it would be good to do it now. Okay, so we got the chicken boiling, and I'm gonna add brown rice that I washed. Always wash your rice, guys. It's important. Hi, Angie. I remember you. I think you're also in Marco's live stream sometimes, right? I remember your name. For some reason, I have a good memory when it comes to names, and I always thought my name memory is not good, but I remember a lot of you guys. You love it in San Diego? Nice, that's awesome. I'm glad you love where you live. Greetings to San Diego. San Diego is my #1 city, Eric. Yeah, Marco loves San Diego, and I only heard good stuff about it, so I really have to go one day. I got some yellow summer squash. I ate a little bit myself yesterday, so now I'm just going to use the rest, and I'll put this into Oscar's food. I'm just going to chop it into small pieces. Oscar loves squash. If you saw my live stream last night, Oscar was... Oh, hi, Snowberry. Snowberry, I just talked about Oscar yesterday. He was in the kitchen with me, and I had some squash left over from last night when I cooked food for myself, and I had it here sitting in the kitchen on the kitchen counter, and Oscar was hanging out in the live stream with us for a little bit, and he just started munching on that squash, and he just ripped it into pieces, and then he just spit it out. He just loved like playing with it. He loves the consistency of squash for some reason. It's probably his favorite vegetable. He eats it when it's cooked, but he didn't eat it raw because it probably has this, you know how squash, when you cut it, it gets like this little liquid everywhere, like those little like driplets of liquid, and when you lick that with your tongue, it's like super, it makes your tongue like, puts like a weird coat on it, like when you eat a green banana, like that kind of feeling. So he probably didn't like that when he ate that raw yesterday. But he loves cooked squash and sweet potato. Those two are his favorite. And he likes peas, green peas. You love California. I used to live in Sacramento. Just stopped to say hi. Have to mow my lawn. Oh, that's fun. Mowing the lawn. Cheyenne ate a foxtail yesterday and it got stuck in his throat. Oh no. Is he okay, Snowberry? Oh man, I'm sorry to hear. Yeah, I didn't think about, yeah, cats love to eat grass, and I never thought about something like that getting stuck in their throat when they eat it, but it makes sense. But have fun mowing the lawn, Snowberry. Don't get a sunburn, although it's pretty early still in Texas, I guess. So the sun or the UV shouldn't be too high right now, so it's probably best that you do it early, better than later. I had to give him hydrogen peroxide to make him spit it up. Oh wow, I'm glad you know all the you know, emergency things to do and all the tricks. After so many years with animals, you probably know it all. I'm glad it worked. Poor Cheyenne, that little fella. Love the sweet boy. I have to make sure there's no foxtails in my lawn. He is... I bet. That must have been rough for him. But yeah, I get that. We have cats. It's a good idea to have that grass under control a little bit. That's so sweet of you that you're so concerned and that you're mowing the lawn now. Cheyenne is very lucky to have a mom like you that takes care of everything and knows what to do in an emergency. And thanks for stopping by to say hi, Snowberry. Always appreciate it. Always happy to see you. I'm gonna wash that rice. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I don't think it's enough. I just want it to last a little bit longer. And it's 2% hydrogen peroxide as a mouth rinse. Yeah, I hear a lot of people do that. It's much cheaper than buying a Listerine, or also more effective, and you don't have those chemicals like the blue coloring and everything. I just think it's so stupid that they do blue colorings for toothpaste and mouth rinse. It's just so unnecessary, especially since a lot of people don't rinse out their mouths after brushing their teeth. They just leave it in because some dentists recommend that because of fluoride, as if there wasn't fluoride in literally everything that we eat and drink every day. Rougher for me, he's forgotten all about it. Yeah, cats probably, as soon as it's gone, they move on with their lives and enjoy the present moment. So I'm glad he's not traumatized from it or anything. Be blessed, my friend. Hug Oskar for me. I will. Thank you too. Be blessed as well, my friend. And hug all the kitties for me, please. I hope Blake is not up to something no good, as usual. I bet he already has something planned. But at least it gives you good short material or YouTube video material. So he's helping out. Hi Nash, have a great morning yourself. I bet you're going to the beach. Have fun at the beach, Nash. I'm here stuck in the kitchen cooking Oscar's food. And thanks for not calling the police. To have plenty of steak. I actually have one steak in my freezer for Oscar. I want to keep that for a special occasion, maybe for his birthday or his gotcha day. I don't know his birthday since he's a rescue, but that will be in July. So that will be 3 years in July. But for today, it will be chicken thighs, nice and cheap. And I got a little bit of summer squash. I kept a little bit of the summer squash my friend gave me yesterday. And yeah, I'm gonna add some green peas if I still have some. I hope so. I have to check the freezer. Bye, Snowberry. Bye-bye. Have fun mowing the lawn and be safe out there. Also, I'm so glad that you're still here, that Rosie is back. That made me so happy to hear. So Snowberry, for all of you that don't know her, she has a channel and she rescues cats, and she's just an animal lover in general, and she has a lot of animals living in her backyard that just drop by to say hi once in a while. And one of them is a chicken. Her name is Rosie, and the chicken just comes by once in a while and then just disappears again. And last time Rosie disappeared for, I think it was a month, if I'm not wrong. So she was gone for a while, or since February or something. So I was worried that something happened to her. But apparently she came back and Rosie's doing good. So I'm glad to hear that. I just love chickens. I would love to have chickens myself one day. Just roaming around freely in the garden, once I have a garden. 6 degrees Celsius here at 10:35, Ohio heat wave. Here I was out like this in a tank top because it looked super sunny, and now in Tennessee it's usually really hot in April already, and then I went outside and it was really cold, so It was pretty chilly here too this morning, but it's gonna warm up a little bit. So it's probably around like 15 degrees, I would say. Probably signed up with Chicken Gang, right? Never know. Doing some Chicken Gang stuff out there on the weekends. Who knows what chickens are doing? Wild chickens. Can't control them. It is such a cool story though, that chickens just, you know, do their own thing and they just come by to say hi once in a while. But they're not in a cage, just doing whatever they want. I heard that Hawaii has a lot of chickens. I have a friend and she moved to Hawaii. And she sent me a picture of chickens, some roosters chilling on someone's roof or on their fences. You know, they just hop into people's backyards and look for, I don't know, insects, I guess. So I think that's pretty cool having a wild chicken run around. Kind of sounds like the dream right there. Key West, Florida, full of chickens. Oh yeah, I heard Florida too. I wasn't sure if that's a real thing or not. So thanks for confirming that. That's funny. I've been to Florida a couple of weeks ago. We went camping on a rescue animal farm, and they had chickens too, and they looked so funny. They had the most obnoxious looking chickens. They had like, one was had like a dark coat, and then it had white poofy hair. It just looked like a grandpa or like someone with a perm, like an old person with a perm. And it was like shaking, you know, when it was like walking like this, like his hair was shaking, and I'm telling you, it was like this, like a really funny hairstyle for a chicken. And then there was another, like a rooster, and he had like a brown coat, and then he also had white hair, and it was like kind of like bangs. It's on my in my Florida vlog from this week. So yeah, if you want to see some funny chickens, I put them in my Florida vlog. They were ridiculous. Admire a dozen of eggs, currently $9.99. Time to invest into chickens and get rich. Wow. Yeah, I think they had like a thing with the flu, right? They had to eliminate, so to say, a lot of chickens, and they had a shortage of egg supply. We had the same thing here in the store, like all the shelves were empty for like days. My sister had those. She loves her chickens. Oh, cute. You mean those silly ones with the hair? I would love that. The sillier an animal looks, the fun, or the, I don't know, it's just, I don't want to laugh about them, but it's just amusing, or it's just cute. I just love silly looking animals with like funny hair. Remember here in the park, a nearby park, they have ducks or geese, or I don't know if it's geese or ducks. I think it was ducks. And they have, I call them grandpa ducks too, because they have like a normal looking coat, like short feathers or normal feathers, and then they have this poofy perm head with the poofy hair, and I don't know, it just looks so cute. I love it. Animals are the best. Is the top from the army supplies? It could be. I have a lot of clothes from the army, like outdoorsy stuff, like I have fleece jackets, t-shirts from the army, and I think this might be from the army too. Yeah, I buy it with like a discount price, you know, for my husband, with my husband's card, like the military card. Flu, yes, but probably speculation too, down speculators. Yeah, same with the gas prices, right? You always talk about that. They just go up for no reason, and they just bring up all kind of reasons. Schutzmantel. You got that right. Nice. Well, I'm glad she's enjoying her chickens. I hope one day I can too, when I live in a house and not an apartment anymore. But for now, we're just trying to save up some money and, you know, live in an apartment, live like a very frugal life, and then one day when we saved up some money, we can hopefully try to get a house and a garden, and then I can have my own vegetables and chickens and all that cool stuff. And I want to have a pig, a house pig, you know, obviously no, not for eating, just for walking around. I left US a few months ago. Inflation was crazy. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, I totally agree. Prices here are really ridiculous. It's getting worse and worse. So yeah, I can see that. So where did you go? Shazab. Do I say that right? Shazab? Sorry if I don't pronounce that correctly. I'm still in the US, just because I already got my life here now, you know, my work and my husband as well. So we are not thinking about leaving anytime soon. If I would go back to Germany to be with my family. That would be the only reason for me to leave at the moment. But if it was about me and people would ask me, I would just move to Japan and have a little rural house out there, buy one of those cheaper houses and renovate it. That would be my dream. But that's only possible if you're already established, you know, financially. So I couldn't do that. Good morning, Gino. How are you doing? Long time no see. I remember your name. I just said that earlier in the chat that for some reason I have a good memory with names or people that I've seen here before. And I always thought I had a really bad memory with names, but apparently I was wrong. I think it's actually better than I thought. So learning something new about myself. How's everyone's morning going? Usually I'm not streaming in the morning, so it's the first time I'm streaming early like this. But I'm enjoying it, and Oskar, my dog, is out of his dog food, so, and he hates eating dry food, so, you know, I had to cook before I go over to work because I'll be there until late tonight. So I thought rather start early than too late. The average used car is now over 32K. I know average used cars here are insanely expensive. In Germany, if you buy a used car, you get that for like, I don't know, like a couple thousand, like under 10K, you know? And here it's just ridiculous. It's basically the price of a new car at that point. Like I might as well just get a new car. I did too, had an awesome job, but being away from family that long is taxing. Yes, Shazad, I 100% understand. I'm in the same position. Like I came here with for my husband, you know, so because of the army, it was harder for him to just move like me. And I just graduated from university, so I was very flexible in that sense to go where I want. And then I was the one, you know, doing the green card stuff, and now I'm here permanently. But I 100% understand that it's very taxing and very draining emotionally to be away from family. I face that every day too. I said it a couple streams ago that I dream about my family almost every single night. Price of my car went up from 72 to 109K, which is insanity. Whoa, crazy. But they don't get produced anymore, right, Marco? You said there was like a limited model, or they're not producing them no more? I'm doing good too, you know. I was very upset yesterday because yesterday I had to do my taxes and I was so mad about it because I'm currently or it doesn't matter, but me working and my husband working really screwed me over. So if I didn't work, or if I wouldn't have worked last year and my husband worked, just him, we would have more taxes, or we would have more money from the tax return than with me working, because at the moment I work non-profit. I work like a very low income part-time job, just like some community work basically. So I thought I'm doing something good, you know, and then I was like, okay, might as well just get like a little mini income from that, you know, while my husband also works. But that screwed me over, so it would have been better for me if I just did that voluntarily without getting paid anything instead of doing it. So I might as well just not work and we would get the same money in the end from tax return. It's ridiculous, I'm telling you. So I definitely understand why some people choose to not work if their partner is working. Marco left my car in Indiana. Wonder how much that was worth now. My husband is also from Indiana. Shazab, I assume that's where you worked and lived. Indiana, how did you like it? And where in Indiana were you at? Like what approximately, not obviously not just the town or anything, but like the south, the north, or... Hi Matt. Greetings to Algeria. Use TurboTax. Well, I used the tax preparer, like a person, like in-person thing, so that was also very expensive, just because I'm not skilled enough for taxes here. I can do my taxes in Germany, like I learned that after so many years, but I'm not well versed with tax stuff here in America, and I already have enough, or I already did enough paperwork with my green card doing that all by myself. That was already sucking enough, so I was like, no, taxes, I'll hand that to a professional. But once I figured it out, I'll do it with TurboTax on myself. You're right, it's definitely much cheaper. Miserable due to pain, that's why I had distracted myself making funny videos. Well, I'm glad you at least have that outlet or that distraction. That's terrible that you're still in pain, Marco. I can't believe it. That must be so draining. Just being in pain is just not fun. 1 out of 800, but now insurance actually doubled. Wow. 1 out of 800. That sounds like a quite limited batch of cars they did. Very cool that you got one. I saw an SUV that looked like yours, but just as a SUV version. Is there something like that out there, Marco? It was also the same color. I was in Indianapolis only for 2 years. Before that was in Florida. Nice. What did you prefer, Florida or Indianapolis? I make a wild guess and say Florida, just because it's probably just more to do out there, like wildlife and weather-wise, and you got the ocean and everything. So I just assumed that you preferred Florida, but maybe you didn't. TurboTax is easy and cheap. Yeah, I did use the HR block. It's also not too expensive, but it made it very expensive filing together with my husband, because I'm on a different paycheck than him. Like I'm on a different, I'm not on W-2. So that's why that was really expensive doing it that way. I had no idea. So they basically charged like triple for doing the tax return. Even more. Yeah, even more. That's crazy. Like 3.5 times more than if it was just a W-2, which is insane. Why do you want to live in Japan? I don't know. I just I watch a lot of Japanese shows and movies, not anime. I'm talking about other shows, like real life shows. And I don't know, I follow a lot of people from Japan, and it just looks very like rural there, very untouched, and they got like a nice tropical weather, which I really enjoy. I know they get earthquakes and typhoons, so that's a little dangerous, but we do get the tornadoes here, so that's also a risk you take when you live here in Tennessee. I don't know, I would love to learn the language. I speak Chinese, so I think it would be not easy, but kinda easy or manageable for me to speak Japanese, and I think it just sounds beautiful, and I like the way they talk, and their demeanor is how respectful people are with each other, and I don't know, it just always sounded very nice to me. Maybe I wouldn't like it if I was there. I couldn't tell you, so maybe I need to travel there a couple times to make sure I would really like it or enjoy it long term. You guys know PewDiePie? PewDiePie, the streamer. I think he's probably one of the most famous streamers in the world. And he moved to Japan, and he's really enjoying it as well. Indianapolis was meh. I can see that. I only drove through it a couple times just to visit my husband's family in Indiana, but I never really went there and like looked at anything. But Indiana in general, I wouldn't want to live in. It's one of those drive-through states, in my opinion, from what I've seen. Make a cheaper SUV version of it now, correct? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably the one that I saw. Extortion, I always filed my own taxes. Yeah, I should, I know. Like, I do that in Germany, just, you know, you get used to it at one point, but here in America, I just didn't want to make mistakes, you know, especially being just a permanent resident. When you have to renew your permanent resident card, fees are almost 500. No, Marco, they're not. They're 750 right now. Or 790 actually, so they're almost $1,000 at that point. They raised the prices. Loved Smoky Mountains in Tennessee. I love them too. Yeah, I would not mind living closer to the Smoky Mountains. For now, we're in the Nashville area, but I would love to, if we stay in Tennessee permanently, I would not mind living closer to the Smokies. But it's also expensive if you want to live like in the Gatlinburg area, you know. I'm not a big fan of the Chattanooga area down there. It looks pretty rough, like very industrial. And it was a big industrial town or area, so it makes sense. But yeah, Gatlinburg, Knoxville would be nice, but then you gotta find a job and all that fun stuff. Is your husband Asian? No, he's not Asian. My husband is American. Do you know? I prefer to not stay in one place, prefer traveling and moving around. That's what I liked for most of my life. That's why I lived in different places too. But now I would kind of enjoy just having, you know, like a garden, like I said, and some chickens and all of that. I think that's also very rewarding because I've moved around so many times. I think this year is the eighth time, what a word, that I moved in my life, so I'm kind of over it at that point. But I do like traveling and exploring new places. I paid $500 a year ago. Oh, okay, so yeah, you're on a different green card than I am, I guess. So that makes sense. So I think it's different prices depending on what green card you have. I, for example, only have the 2-year long green card right now, and I have to extend it into a 10-year green card, and from there on it might be $500 to renew it, so that would make sense. Gatlinburg was cool. Yeah, I see a lot of videos about it. I've never been, even though it's not that far, but I don't know about the bear situation, if I would enjoy being around bears, but it adds a little bit of spice to it, I guess. And they look kind of cute, but they're still dangerous. Try to find work from home like I did. I know, I hope one day I can make YouTube my work a little bit, at least like my mini income, so I'm a little bit more flexible. And then I can also travel home to my family more often and still make money from YouTube eventually, which would be really great. Just from ad revenue, you know, so YouTube has to pay me. That would be nice since they already put ads onto my videos. Might as well just pay me for it. But yeah, that would be good, so I can see my family more often instead of having to be here physically all the time. That would be my goal, you know, just being able to take care of my papa at home more and just see them more often. Yeah, one day hopefully. San Diego is super duper expensive to live, but very desirable. I can see that. I only saw San Diego in shows, like TV shows or in YouTube videos. I've never been there, but never heard anything bad about it, except for the prices in California in general. Tried to find work from home. Oh, waited. I got those already at home, so I always know I can come back to it whenever. Do you mean the bears? Or the family? We moved 10 times, but this is most likely our last home. 10 times? Okay, well, you outmoved me. But yeah, you have a very nice house, and except for the weather, you're enjoying it there, I guess, so why not stay there? I get that. 500 for the 10-year card. That's what I have. Okay, so 500 for getting a new 10-year card because you had the 10-year card before that, I assume. So the 10-year card is cheaper, I assume. But yeah, from the if you change from the 2-year card into the 10-year card, it's a pretty high fee. And you also have to send some other documents with it, I think. Carry a bear spray, not that big of a deal. True. I get ads all the time, but not a penny. Yeah, that's what I'm confused about. Hi, Jessie. That they put ads onto someone's channel without them being monetized or getting any ad revenue. Like, at least don't put any ads on when you don't pay me for it, because that's annoying for the viewers and you're not getting anything from it. Like, no one's benefiting from it except for YouTube itself. Is the way to go. That's why we're doing our cooking streams right here. Only pans in the stream. I am working for a US company now in my home country. 100% you saved there. Wow. Where's your home country if you wanna share, Shazab? And that's really cool that you can just work from your home country. I wish my husband could work in Germany, so we could live there for a little bit, you know, just to be around family for a few years. That would be nice, basically what you did. Pakistan, oh nice. Very cool. Are you enjoying life in Pakistan, Shazab? I've never been. I had a classmate in university from Pakistan, and but she never really been there often. Only when she was little, so yeah, it's interesting. I think you're the first person here, at least officially, from Pakistan. Yeah, we have a lot of people from India in the community, and Indonesia, and obviously America, since this is in English. I heard you need at least B2 level German to work in Germany. Yeah, you do. That's one thing my husband would need to do. He would need to learn German. I think it might be either B2 or C1 already at that point, but I don't know for sure. I'm gonna get the chicken out for my dog. And I have to get the meat off the bones, but it's probably gonna be super hot right now. Obviously, since it's been boiling for almost 40 minutes. Okay, let's get those chickies out. I'm just gonna put them here on the chopping board for now. Okay, bye Marco. I hope you'll feel better when you wake up. I'm sorry you're in so much pain. I wish we could do something about it. I'm probably gonna let this chicken cool down for a little bit and hop off myself and do some chores around the house. Because this is way too hot to get the meat off right now when it's still so fresh out of the pot. You live in a valley, rural and calm. That's amazing. Sounds like the dream right there. I would love to live in a rural place and you know, just calm and be able to have a little farm that's not, or just like a piece of land that's not too expensive. So yeah, that's what I was thinking about, getting one of those cheaper houses in Japan that you have to renovate and just make that into a project, you know. Just grow my own vegetables, because I don't really care at all about, hi Tom, how are you doing? I don't care about like a house, like how my house looks like, how big it is, as long as it has a few walls and a roof and it keeps me safe. I'll be fine with that. I really just want to have a little bit of land so I can grow my own stuff. I don't care about house at all. I don't want to have one of those houses with just a backyard and a front lawn, you know, and just mow my lawn every day or every week. That's not the life I want to live. I really want to be able to be out there and use my own hands and grow my own stuff and be mostly self-sufficient. Land is cheap. Nice. Waiting on starting so I can hike and work. On Starlink? Hike and work. Oskar, what are you doing? My dog's walking around, bumping his head. Heard about those. They are awesome. Big yard, yes, that's my preference. Exactly why I moved back. I can see that, yeah. Here's a lot about if people want to live in suburbs. Nothing wrong with that if you like that, if you don't have the patience for growing stuff or the passion for it. Of course, you wouldn't need big piece of land, but if you want to have it, it's very expensive here, and so many people, it drives me nuts sometimes to see that. Shows up when I'm here in America, you know it, you lived here yourself. But if you see all those big mansions, like people having those like 5 acres of land and you just drive past it and everything is just like one green lawn. There's nothing growing on it except for maybe a tree or two, and then they have those houses sitting in the middle and they're not doing anything with their piece of land. It's just so, I don't know, frustrating for me, because I'm like, why do you have so much land if you don't use it? It's just to show off to people. We're waiting to get Starlink here. Oh wow, okay, I did not know. Oskar, you wanna say hi? Schatz, you wanna say hi? Okay. Schatzy. Schatzy. I know you're hungry. You want to have some chicken? Oskar? Oskar, come. You can have some chicken skin. Nice and wobbly. Oskar? Come. Oskar? Oskar? No. Oh man, my dog is getting so old. I think he has a little bit of dementia. He doesn't know where he's walking sometimes. You got a lab named Bao Bao. How cute. And thank you. I bet you're super cute too. You've seen those clean cut grass, completely worthless. Yes, thank you for exactly knowing what I mean. Worthless, that's a good point. A good word to describe it. Like, they're not contributing anything to nature, to like bees and pollinators, or you know. Oskar, here. Oskar, mommy, here, come. Come. Oskar, come. Susie, it's not for you. Come. You good? But yeah, I'm glad you understand what I'm talking about, Shazab, and that you lived here yourself and that you got out of it and now you live back in your home country and you're enjoying the simple, I don't want to say simple life, but simpler life, you know, like the more, it's not simpler, it's even more complicated if you have like land and all that, but you know what I mean, hopefully. Planted fruit trees a week ago. Very cool. Yeah, I wonder why people don't even at least have fruit trees here. Like, at least have something. They all have those nice trees that look beautiful, but no fruit, no vegetables, nothing. Yeah, at least fruit trees. Like, you can do that, you know, if you have that big piece of land. No documents to fill. Yeah. I'm jealous, Joseph. That sounds really amazing. Do you make YouTube yourself or? But yeah, I'm glad you understand. I'm gonna add my squash to the rice, so I just cooked some brown rice in the chicken broth or with the chicken, and now I'm just gonna add the squash to it. So unfortunately I don't have a lot of vegetables today, but it should be okay. Staying off social media. I understand, Joseph. I used to use Instagram a lot, but I haven't used it in months. So I'm doing the same basically, except for YouTube. Like I do my YouTube, so I guess it's also social. But yeah, except for the live streams, because I really enjoy the live streams because we have very interesting conversations and we can exchange our opinions and experiences like we do right now. And I think that's very rewarding, or you can learn from that, or I always learn from people here in the community. So yeah, you definitely seem like a very cool guy, Shazab, and definitely share some similar opinions for sure. That's one reason why I love the live streams. It's just, I don't know, I just like exchanging opinions and views on the world and many things. But from social media itself, I don't generate any, or not generate, but I don't see any benefit in it. Like I really don't, that sounds harsh, but I really don't care what people that I knew like 10 years ago, 5 years ago are eating for dinner. Or if they're drinking a glass of wine, you know, and all that stuff that you see on social media at the moment, or some random dance videos of people, I'm like, yeah, okay, interesting. Not saying that my content is super interesting. It really depends on what you like and what you don't like. I'm not saying that I'm like, I got this like amazing content or anything, but I used to only vlog and do shorts and stuff, or like long format videos, but now I really enjoy the live streams just because you have a little bit more of like a interaction going on instead of just simply like putting up stuff like content. I understand that. Yeah, that's what puts me off. I prefer authenticity. Yep, same here. And I'm really learning from the live streaming for some reason. Like it's really, like it teaches me some stuff about myself a little bit. Because in videos, you know, in the past, I was like, huh, should I film myself today for the vlog? Because I don't feel like really comfortable today. I don't think I look good today, blah blah. But now with the live streams, I just turn them on no matter how I look like yesterday or 2 days ago. I think I was like after the house chores, I was like sweaty and didn't feel like filming at all. But then I was like, whatever, who cares, you know, just get over it. Like, it's not about how you look, or yeah, you just get over that urge to always feel and look your best. So I think it helps me in some way with accepting myself and being more authentic to me and others. So it's one thing I really like about live streams, because you can't cut out scenes, or you can't, you know, hide anything. Oh, hey Bo, you got 102 subs. Yay, congratulations, happy for you. Me and Marco subbed too, I think a while ago. So yeah, congratulations, that's really good. Are you on Insta or Insta? Yes, I'm on Insta, but if you can't find it here in my YouTube description, then yeah, I don't really do anything there. I have it, but I don't upload anything on my Insta anymore. Maybe one day in the future if I ever feel like it again. But for now, I'm kind of out of that. Thanks, Bo. Appreciate it. Yeah, Bo is one of the OGs here. She's really great. And she got a YouTube too. Bo, do you have any animals, by the way? And did I ever ask you? I don't remember that I did. I'm sorry if I already asked you and I forgot. Sometimes hard to remember everyone's pets and all the details. Insta turned to corn for some reason. Yeah, it's just a different, another TikTok. I feel like the same thing is happening to YouTube for the most part, except for some people really like the long format videos, and but I think it all really turns into TikTok eventually. So people's attention span is just not very long anymore, and when there's nothing happening, nothing funny or crazy or weird, people just scroll away, and they're not very likely to engage in like a conversation or, you know, stick around, which is totally okay. But it's just how it is nowadays, I guess. I sound like one of those old people. Back then everything was different, but I guess like I still grew up without having a phone. So it's just crazy to see how much it changed now. I'm not saying it's bad or anything, it's definitely just different. You don't have any animals, sadly? No, I'm sorry. What question? Someone being mean to you, Bo? What's your problem talking to her? No one has any problem. It's all good. Let's all be friendly with each other. Bo didn't try to do anything bad or try to be mean or anything. Bo is a very friendly and kind person, so please be nice to Bo. She does not deserve to be talked to like that. People get really upset nowadays about everything. Weirdos, old people now, right? I know, Shazab, I agree. The millennials, or I don't know what gen you are, but you sound millennial-y to me. I'm a millennial myself. Classic boy. No, you're not an animal, Bo. You're definitely not. Don't worry about it. Just ignore it, Bo. Sorry, I wish I could moderate right now, but I don't have a moderator in the chat right now, Bo. And my hands are so yucky from chopping this meat, so I can't do anything. I hope so too, that you can have an animal one day, bro. That's really a nice thing. But if you have a dog, you also got to remember that you have to walk them all the time. If it's raining or storming, there's no excuse. So sometimes I'm like thinking back to the days where I didn't have any animals and I didn't have to take care of anything, you know, just being a university student, just minding my own business, just going to the library or to my classes, doing my thing. Also was a very chill time, not gonna lie. But having animals is still very rewarding, even though it's a lot of work. Let's just call it a sensitive generation. Of course, Bo. No reason to thank me. And I can't even do anything right now, but yeah. Please be nice, everyone. Please be respectful. That should be like the minimum requirement everyone has, and it should be a given, you know, be respectful with each other, especially when we don't even know each other well, like people that are new here. I know it's very easy when you're on the in the internet being anonymous to be mean to each other. For some reason, that's like a thing, or people love doing that. But it's not very kind, and it's not good for the other person, and it's not good for yourself, because being mean never contributes to anything good. Not for yourself or anyone else. It's okay, agnostic. Let's all be nice to each other. I know you felt interrupted. You felt like someone's like trying to prevent you from asking something, and that's okay. We all have feelings. We all get upset. But as long as we come back to being nice and acknowledge that we just were upset, and yeah. Humans are complicated beings, aren't we? We are very upset very easily about the littlest things. And then in the end, we realize it wasn't even a big deal. Or sometimes we're just projecting our own insecurities. True about that, having a dog, yes. My dog doesn't have a leash. We don't chain them ever. That's good. I don't like people chaining their dogs in their yards as a protection or safety dog. I see that here in Tennessee sometimes. It's still a thing here out in the country. Those chained up dogs, I think it's terrible. Especially in a storm or when it's raining. It's really bad. But there's no such thing as calling like animal safety or whatever that's called. In Germany, we have an institution that takes care of animals. So if you see something like that, you can call the animal care. I don't even know how to translate that into English, but just like basically a police for animals that will stand up for them and take them away from the owners, or give them like a warning or something at least. It doesn't take much to be kind. Yes, agree. You preparing Oscar's food? Yes, it's Oscar's food. It doesn't look very appetizing. I know, it's just chopped up meat at that point, and I'm gonna add it into the brown rice that I cooked with some squash and blueberries. So Oscar really likes that kind of food. He likes those mushy foods, and like a porridge. I was not interrupting. I was stating something in a question I thought was personal and you don't need to ask it and she might not like that. I appreciate it, Bo. I really do. Especially as girls, we like to stand up for each other, agnostic boys, you know, because we get a lot of comments asking about personal information or stuff. So as girls, we are sometimes more sensitive about that and we like to stand up for each other. That's all it is. So no reason to be mean to Bo at all. She didn't mean to be mean to you or unkind. She was just standing up for me. And it's a very sweet thing to do. I'm not saying it's not normal. You didn't do anything wrong, agnostic. It's all good. No one did anything wrong. Bo just had a different opinion, or she was trying to stand up for me in case I was not willing to answer that question. So that's really all it was. Okay, bye. Bye, agnostic boy. Have a good life. Thanks for hanging out. And I'm sorry you're so hurt for some reason, even though Bo didn't do anything. Characterless girls. Yeah, well, you're probably gonna look for something else than if you call us characterless agnostic, so that might not be the right place here. Good luck, agnostic. Yeah, well, nothing wrong with being emotional, but as long as you can reflect back where it comes from, like, and that it's not the other person, it's more like inside yourself, you know, when you feel triggered. But yeah, that's I'm doing YouTube for a while now. I'm very used to it, and I try to be compassionate, you know, with most people, because I know when they get upset, unless, I'm not saying it's always on them, obviously, like there's people that are really mean in their live streams to other people, and I don't think that's okay, obviously. But if it's just people getting upset for something like that, yeah, there might be like an underlying cause for that in themselves, you know. So I just try to be compassionate and understanding that they might just be going through something, you know, and I never take it personal. A rude man who takes things too far. Yeah, bro, you did absolutely nothing wrong. You were just trying to stand up for another girl here, so I really appreciate that. And I'm sorry you had to deal with that. And there's no moderator in the chat right now. If Shuriken or Marco were here, they would definitely deal with that. But yeah. I hope agnostic boy will feel better eventually and, you know, learn. Life's rough, isn't it? Or people make life so complicated sometimes for like no obvious reason. At least I don't want to undervalue their opinion or emotions, but sometimes it's just really, from my standpoint or my point of view, not a big deal. We miss Marco, yeah. Marco's always doing a great job here. Or we have another friend here, his name is Shuriken, and he is really good with moderating too. That does not look appetizing, by the way, but well, it's dog food, I guess, so. It can be rough, yeah, it can, for sure. But yeah, people get really upset about everything at the moment. Moin moin. How are you doing, Ali? You're German, right, Ali? If I'm not wrong. True. It's rough with the wrong people. Yeah, that's true. People will only notice when life gets real rough, like when they have a real bad struggle, how unrough their life was before and how they thought it was rough, but it actually wasn't that rough. But I mean, we all have different levels of what we think is rough, you know, so I don't want to tell them what's rough and what's not. I bet I'm exaggerating sometimes too when people think like I shouldn't, or, you know, I have my trigger points where other people would be completely not triggered by. We all got our little quirks and struggles and weirdnesses, right? So who am I to judge? I'm not trying to. I'm gonna give my dog a little food now. I told you I'm planning to move to Germany. Oh, Ali, yeah, sorry. I remember. Sorry, sometimes I get it mixed up, different names, but yeah, I remember. In a couple months, you said. Welcome back, Ali. Glad to have you here. I just cooked some food for my dog. He doesn't like to eat dry food. He's very spoiled. All right, see you later, bro. I think it keeps getting worse. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I think it is really good that people are able to be more emotional nowadays, and they don't have to hold back their emotions. I think people always have been emotional, but they have not been willing to share that because it was seen as something bad. You know what I mean? Like, it was more, people would be more judgy about it in the past, I assume, especially men. So I'm glad that men are more able to be emotional now, more openly. I think that's a good development. Because who says man cannot be emotional? Like, they're just as human as females, so why wouldn't they be allowed to be emotional? So I think that's good that it's more normal now. I think it really is just more visible nowadays, so I think people might have always been emotional, but it's just more normal now, but it's just an assumption. But maybe also social media is contributing to it in a little bit, or just how, I don't want to say easy, but life is definitely getting easier nowadays for us. Like, there's not much bad stuff happening. Like, for example, 2 generations before, when there was like wars everywhere and world wars, you know, when people had to struggle with that. And nowadays it's just more calm for not all countries. Obviously, there's still a lot of war going on, unfortunately, for many countries. Just talking about the Western world right now, that's in the media. I think for me it was gathering too much possessions, giving up the material stuff made me feel a lot better. I can see that, yeah, I'm trying to do that too. That's why we downsized from renting a house on an army base. I had like 4 rooms for no reason because it's really just me and my husband and the animals. So we downsized into a 1-bedroom apartment. And the whole moving thing, like moving so often, just made me aware of how much stuff I had and how much or how little I actually need for living. And yeah, I really try to get more into the minimalism, because having too much stuff around just drives me nuts, to be honest. Like, just having to find a place for it, like where to store it, where to put it, and not make it look messy. And, you know, if it doesn't fit in one suitcase, I give it away. Oh wow, so you're like a real minimalist then. I really try to be. I watch, do you know Samurai Matcha? He's like a Japanese guy, and he's a hardcore minimalist, and he has really, really cool videos. And I read all of Marie Kondo's books and minimalist documentaries and videos and stuff. A lot of Japanese people doing it, and I think it's really amazing. But I don't want to get to the point where it gets like obsessive, you know, where it goes into the other direction. So I'm just trying to not have too much, but also not freaking out about having stuff. And I will get there eventually, you know, step by step. But yeah, I definitely want to downgrade from the stuff I have. Like my friends usually say that I don't have anything compared to what they have. They're like, where do you put all your stuff? Like you don't have any room here. And then they're like, oh wow, you don't even have any stuff. So how do you live with that little stuff? But for me, it's not little. For me, it's like already way too much. So yeah, I'm trying to downsize to eventually a little bit more. If it doesn't fit, I actually came with one bag to US and left with one. Shut up, that's what I did. I came with one backpack. How funny. Yeah, I left everything behind in Germany and it got all thrown away, which was really hard, but then I was like, you know what? It's kind of relieving just to not have it. So yeah, I came here with one backpack too. That's cool that you also left with one. I saw a documentary on it 9 years ago. It's about having a healthy balance. Yep, I agree. And maybe we saw the same documentary. I could imagine that because it was a couple years for me too, like 5-6 years maybe, or even a little bit more. I want to give you a kind gift or technical gift if you need to have your own website. Oh, I appreciate that, Ali. For now, I'm good with a website. I'll get back to you one day if I need one. And I appreciate that. You are a very kind person too, Ali. Thank you so much. You realize you forget about it eventually. Yeah, especially if you have it like in your closet. You know those American closets where you close the door and you never think about it ever again, and then you find it and it's kind of like you never knew it was there or you just forgot about it. It's crazy. That just shows you that you definitely don't need it. Thanks, Ali. My cat can have a little chicken too. Yeah, you get a little chicken. You realize if oh, your husband in the army? Yes. Army. That's how I came here. I was still a student back then and he was in the army. And then after graduating university, it was much easier for me to move, you know, than for him. That's how we ended up in the US instead of Germany. And he doesn't speak German and I speak English, so it was just easier for us. Right? The closet that's the size of a room, I agree. Such a waste of space too. In Germany, we don't have those walking-in closets, like those closets behind the doors, like that are built into the wall. We just use all the space we have for our rooms. And then closets are just like furniture, you know, that you put into the room, which is expensive, but I would rather have more room than having a closet. I have a Japanese friend. Her husband is in the army too. They live in Hawaii. Nice. I have a friend whose husband is in the army too, and they live in Hawaii too. So maybe they work together. Wouldn't that be funny? Imagine. But she really likes it. It definitely has its downsides too to live in Hawaii, but she really likes it for the most part. So I can't wait to visit her one day in Hawaii and take you guys with me in the live stream or make some vlogs about it. I always wanted to go to Hawaii and I'm glad I have a friend living there now because it's expensive. Same in Pakistan. Yeah, you also got the furniture closets and you don't have them built into your wall. Yeah, Americans have some funny habits or things that many other countries don't have. Same with the AC. You don't have AC there, do you? Like we don't have any AC in Germany, in German houses. It's not normal for us. And apparently ACs use so much energy. They're really energy wasters. Same with dryers. So in Germany we usually don't have AC units anywhere or dryers in our house. We usually just hang up our clothes on a laundry rack or on a laundry line. Please do. Hawaii is awesome. Also, you've been to Hawaii too, and you went to Alaska. Oh, how cool. As a kid, I always dreamed about going to Alaska. So me and my husband were actually looking into Alaska. But at the same time, I think it's easy to romanticize Alaska, but actually living there might be another story, just because the weather is really extreme. And I do love snow. Where I come from in the Black Forest in Germany, we have a lot of snow too, so I'm used to that, and I love being around snow or in the snow. But I think it might be hard for gardening and having like a little homestead in Alaska, weather-wise, and the darkness and the brightness thing, where it never gets dark, or where it just stays dark, might be a little tricky too. And there's just so many dangerous animals there. I think that's something I really need to consider with my old rescue dog, you know, and he doesn't like the cold, so that's another thing to consider. I think he would rather enjoy retirement in Hawaii or in Florida with his old bones, so I have to think about that too. Not in our mountain home. I used to work for an employer. My tickets were super cheap. Oh, cool. That's awesome. You used to travel every weekend? Whoa. Not bad. Some in Alaska, not for living. Yeah. Exactly. For living, I don't know if I could do it. I think I really want to visit for sure. Like, that's definitely on my list. Japan, Hawaii, Alaska. And I don't even know what I would put on at the moment. It always changes. But those are the ones that have always been on my list. Amsterdam. Syrup. You are from Amsterdam, or you tell me to go to Amsterdam? I've been to Amsterdam, I think, at least 7 times, and I really loved it. It was one of my favorite cities as a teenager or in my early 20s. And not for the apparent reason many people think, because something is illegal there. I don't care about that stuff. It's just a beautiful city itself. It's an amazing architecture. People are so friendly and open. And I love hearing Dutch accent. I think it's so charming. 20 to 30 for a flight ticket inside the US. Oh wow. I wish. I can only dream of that. I mean, if you really book it early, I might get a ticket like that with Spirit, you know. Here from Tennessee to New York, for example, it's like $30. But you really have to be lucky and book early, and during a time that's not very popular. But if I would fly to Hawaii or Alaska from here, that would probably cost me like $400 or so. Hey, stop eating Oscar's food. Oscar! Let me see if my dog wants to eat something. Oops. What was your favorite travel destination in general, Shazep? If you have one. It's hard to name just one, I assume. I couldn't even answer that myself. Oscar, come. Although I have to say, I think Hong Kong was probably one of my favorite places ever. There you go. And Beijing too. Just so much history and culture. There you go. Yummy. You better eat it. I just cooked that for an hour. You rascal. Da. Komm, ess. Oscar. Komm, Mami hat extra gekocht. Komm, ess was. Lecker. Reis. Reis mit Hühnchen. Lecker. Lecker? Oh, you are mean. I cooked your yummy food and you're not eating it. Wow. I'm not hurt at all. I'm not actually hurt. He's just a very picky eater. So even when I cook him food, he's still sometimes picky about it. It used to be a jumpsuit ticket. Redwood National Park just came straight to my mind. Oh yeah, that's definitely on my list here when it comes to travel in America. Me and my husband were thinking about that last year, but we did Colorado instead. Just because it's a little closer. But I have to go there for sure. Only because of the largest tree in the world. I know. I think I would be totally... Oh, I'm going to show you Oscar eat. I think that's cuter. I love trees, so whenever I see a big tree, I always have to take a picture or hug it or just tell my husband to look at it, and I'm just in awe, you know. I just think it's amazing to see big trees because I know it's just fascinating. And just seeing the biggest tree in the world, I saw a picture of that tree and I could not believe my eyes. I thought it was AI or something. But it's really so big, like it's on a picture, right, on the internet. That must be absolutely insane to see that in real life. He's like the chicken frozen, right? I took an 8,000 mile road trip across US. Sequoia tree is something else. That was originally our plan, me and my husband, to do that with our truck, just do a little road trip. But then, you know, life gets in the way and it's harder to do than you think it is. But I'll keep you guys updated. You'll see it here on the YouTube if I ever do it. It's definitely still my plan to do that road trip from the Appalachians, or even from the coast to the other coast, like from the east to the west. So we'll see if that works out, but that's so cool that you did that, Shazab. I'm so jealous, but happy for you, obviously. The biggest one can't be found. They hid the location on purpose. Oh, I love that. Okay, I'm happy about that. I don't need to see it. As long as I see a big ass tree and I'm already blown away, I'm fine with that. I don't need to see the biggest because I know what people would do with it. So I'm glad they're hiding it, actually. Some people are cool. That's why I did it. No time like the present. Very true. Oh man, Shazab, you just sound like someone that fits right into the community. If you're ever in a live stream here in the evening or so with other people, I think you just fit right in. We have a lot of people like in their 30s, 40s that are really knowledgeable, and we love to have deep conversations like that. I'm not saying there's a deep conversation when we talk about traveling or anything like that, but yeah, you definitely fit right in. Just gotta mention that. Drive from Oregon to Redwood. Okay, so you think like from Oregon going down is the best path to do it? Amazing, would love to learn from them. Yeah, they're really cool. So just like you, yeah, I'm glad to have met them here all. I did not think YouTube would have so many cool people, but it does. Because usually when you watch YouTube, you just see all those trolls and you're like, oh man, it's kind of nasty. But then you do live streams and you meet so many cool people. I mean, you also have those other ones, you know, but the majority is just really nice people. And yeah, I love not being a big YouTuber and just being like a very small size or medium size, not even medium size, like small size, just because you get to know people more and you can like actively read people's comments instead of just like getting so many that you can't even keep track of what you're reading or what people are talking about. So I think this is actually a really great time for this channel because we are just at a good size where it's very personal and I just know everyone's names and stories. Amazing, we love to Redwood, Yosemite, and Sequoia, and then go to Death Valley. Yes, Death Valley. I remember as a kid I did a school presentation about Death Valley and I thought it was so interesting. And what's that place called? With the salt, everything is just salt, like the ground is salt. And if you ever plan a trip to Pakistan, visit Hansa Valley. Okay, I will. I have to make a travel list and get because I get so many recommendations here. So same with movies or books, all that stuff. I really have to start making like a list on my phone for all kinds of stuff like traveling, and then just put all you guys' ideas in there. There's no better place than hearing from people themselves instead of like looking into a travel book or Google Maps, because you know, hearing from people's experiences and recommendations is just so much better. You'd get a lot of recognition as a YouTuber in Pakistan. Oh, you think so? So, is YouTube very popular in Pakistan? I guess YouTube is popular around the world, right? I know I have a lot of people here, a lot of new people too from India, and I know that a big part of my viewers, I can see that in my YouTube studio, are from India. Pakistan, I don't think I've seen yet showing up in my YouTube studio. I have Pakistan, Malaysia, Canada, America, Germany, some other European countries. And there's travel vloggers are, okay, nice. Yeah, I originally thought about being a travel vlogger, but then life is just not all travels. Life is very normal most of the time, so I'm trying to not just show this travel lifestyle where people think I'm just traveling all the time and having a good time. I have a very normal, boring, average life most of the time. So I feel like travel YouTubers always look like those cool people. They have so much fun. They never have one boring day in their life. They never have to do the laundry, you know. So I'm trying to not just portray that travel life, I think. And I just have other interests too that I would like to share, like cooking, or my dog, and all kinds of stuff, like outdoorsy stuff, like camping, hiking, all that. So I don't want to restrict myself to just be a travel vlogger, even though it would probably be better for me if I wanted to grow bigger. But for me, it's not about that. So I'm okay with not niching down for now. India is also lovely. I hope to go there someday with a different passport. Oh, okay. So you would need a different passport to go to India. I just met an American family traveling with 7 children. Oh, cool! Like in Pakistan, 7 children. That sounds like a lot of fun and stress at the same time. I don't know if I could do that. Like traveling by myself is already sometimes stressful. I don't want to imagine having 7 children with me. But it's definitely something they will never forget, I guess. I'm gonna put my dog's food into the plastic container. I don't know where I put it. Oh, it's right here. That might not fit. I think that's way too much food. Oh man, I'm so glad though that I finished his meal prep for this week. That's always a big chore that I can check off my list, you know, so I'm good for another week or 6 days, and then I have to do another meal prep. Somewhere in Vans, wow. Just flying with little children. I don't know if I could do that. I have friends in India, but traveling with my passport is a bit inconvenient. Okay. is there still like tensions going on between Pakistan and India, like in Kashmir, like, you know, that area, or has it calmed down? Or what do you say about that, if you want to share? If not, obviously that's totally fine. I just know from living in China, there was a little bit of border issues sometimes between China and India, so I was wondering if you have the same thing, or I know that there's some conflict going on, you know, between both countries, but always, yeah. I don't know why countries always have to be so mean with each other instead of, you know, trying to support each other and wanting the best for each other, and just, I don't know, I guess it's just how it is being human, and people love each other, but political elite is on some weird stuff. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I think is similar to what's happening right now in Ukraine. You know, I think the people there might not have anything against each other, and then they are forced to like fight each other in such an unnecessary war. I don't know, it's crazy, but it goes much deeper and further than that. I know it's not just between those countries, unfortunately, but that's politics. Let's not try to get too much into that. That's one thing I try to keep away from the channel, make this political because, or religious, because that's already leading to so much conflict that we don't need that. People love each other. Oh, how about that? Yeah. War doesn't make sense. Nope, it does not. Especially nowadays in nowadays society, where you think we had so many wars going on, we had so many opportunities to learn from it. We have all the technology in the world, communication technology, AI, we have everything. We could end world hunger tomorrow if we wanted to, but yet we choose not to, which is absolutely crazy to me. But instead we put all our money into defensive structures, defense mechanisms, instead of just investing time and money into finding a different solution and being peaceful. But I know some scientists or researchers or socio-scientists, or whatever you want to call it, anthropologists, say that war is inevitable for a human during the human existence, and it will always happen. It will never not happen because it's so much in our genes and our DNA that we like to, genes or DNA, same thing, but yeah, that we just can't stop it. It will always be part of us. Just the ways we do it will change, but war in general will never stop. So, and I can see that, unfortunately, because even with each other, like with partners or friends, fight little wars sometimes, you know, the conflicts, and conflict is just part of the human being, unfortunately. So, and war is just the bigger scale of that. And it reminds me, sometimes war and war reminds me of social media, like YouTube. Like the big people are the ones, like the trolls, you know, sitting behind their screens, being anonymous, not having to put up with it, and they send their people to do it, and they never have to show up in the war themselves. So it's kind of like being anonymous, or not anonymous, like obviously not anonymous, but you can just hide, you know, not be involved in it directly, which is really crazy. It's about profit, yes, there's no right wrong. Or profit making. It's really sad that we put profit above everything else, and especially since it's such a known thing that making other people happy and yeah, just contributes more to your own happiness than making money or profiting from something. But for some reason we still don't put that above profit. I might just move to New Zealand. They don't get beef with anyone. Yeah, honestly, I always thought about going to New Zealand. I think if something happens one day, that might also be the safest place, but who knows. And yeah, they don't get beef with anyone. Same with Switzerland, and yeah, I never really hear Australia either to be involved with anything. Well, Canada is pretty calm too compared to many other countries. Hi, Funny. Making a meal for Oscar. Yes, I just packed it up and he ate his portion. Shazab, by the way, this is Funny, and he's a great guy. He lives in America now. And Funny, Shazab fits right into our little fan bag, I said, because he has very cool opinions about things too. He seems like a very chill and cool guy. So we just talked about how silly war is and how unnecessary. And then we talked about traveling and the war between Pakistan, or the conflict between Pakistan and India for a little bit, and how unnecessary that all is. And how the people actually don't hate each other, but it's just the politicians, you know, making a big deal about it. Those Tupperware? Yeah, I don't know. It's Rubbermaid, I think. I personally use glass Tupperware for myself, but I don't have a big one like this for Oscar's food, so I still have to use the plastic one. I might have to get a bigger glass one because I don't like to use plastic, because microplastics and the fillets and everything going into the food when you put it in plastic stuff. So please, if you still use plastic, consider switching to glass or metal, because plastic is really bullshit and bad for you. Don't do it. Says me while putting something in plastic. I know, the hypocrisy, right? Welcome to the internet. Well, I'm glad I did Oscar's meal prep, and the kitchen is kind of clean now, and this is all done. Thanks so much for hanging out with me doing that. It was definitely way more fun than if I did that by myself. Oh yeah, you're back in Pakistan now, so the Rubbermaid is probably not a thing there, which is for the better. Trust me. Nice to meet you. Yay, I'm glad to get to know each other, and it's too far too. Government, like any government or any government, has different views and perspective than its people. Yeah, I just made a comparison to what's going on in Ukraine too, because the people themselves, I don't think they hate each other. It's really just the politicians going nuts and using, compared it to YouTube too, funny that the politicians are like the trolls on YouTube. You know, they never really have to show up and like themselves. They just hide behind a wall or behind the internet and just have the people doing what they want to do, but they never have to do it themselves. So it's just, yeah, whatever. Let's not make it too political. It never puts anyone into a good mood, does it? We use silver or glass. Yeah, that's much better. People should do that. Those plastic containers are really shit. Like, after downsizing from like all the materialistic stuff I have, I'll definitely also get rid of all my plastic stuff that I already have. I did it step by step. Like for example, I don't have spatulas anymore made of plastic. I still have a ladle, for example, made of plastic, so I have to switch to metal too and just get rid of all the plastic that I have for as much as I can. It's definitely the next step. That's why I live on a mountain. That's nice. What's the regular meal for a lazy cat? And I've always been the edgier guy here who brings glimpse of politics. No, that's totally fine. I bring politics into it much more than I should too, so that's fine for me. I don't mind it at all. I think sometimes it's necessary. Or it's also forced if you just try to keep it out of the conversation totally, because that's not natural either. I want the conversation to be organic or natural, so don't be scared to bring up certain topics. There's nothing that people cannot talk about, in my opinion. I just don't want to make it like the main point or, you know, force anyone's ideas on anyone. I think it's always good to have an exchange about it, but as long as it just stays there and not doesn't go any further, I think that's fine. I used wood. Sometimes it's nice to discuss them trolls. It definitely is. Yeah, we had trolls earlier. It was just this guy that got really upset about poor Bo. She was just trying to defend me. She was just asking about, like, I think my Instagram or something. So she just tried to stand up for me and being like, hey, why do you ask her that? Like, that's pretty personal. Like, why do you want her Instagram? And he took it a very wrong way and got very defensive, and he was like, I'll leave forever, goodbye, forever. And I was like waving the white tissue with a tear in my eye. But yeah, you know. Hi, die Nacht. Wie geht's? Wie ist die Lage in Deutschland? Wird Ostern in den USA gefeiert? Gibt es dort auch 2 Feiertage? Ähnlich würde ich sagen. Hier gibt es auch Ostereier oder Easter Egg Hunt. Aber hier ist es nicht so wie bei uns. Hier gibt es Plastikeier, natürlich Plastik. Wie kann es auch anders sein? Die man öffnen kann, wie das Ü-Ei, das Innere vom Ü-Ei. Und da machen die dann Süßigkeiten rein, damit es nicht dreckig werden, wenn man sie auf dem Rasen versteckt oder irgendwo im Haus. Typisch, sag ich mal. Obwohl die Sachen ja eh schon eine Verpackung haben, aber gut. Ist so, wie manche Leute im Supermarkt Bananen kaufen und die dann in eine Plastiktüte reintun, um sie sauber zu halten, oder obwohl die Banane ja schon eine Plastik- oder die eigene Verpackung hat. Aber ja, hier gibt's am Freitag ist Feiertag für manche, aber es ist nicht vorgeschrieben, also man kann es frei wählen als Firma, ob man das als Feiertag haben möchte oder nicht für seine Arbeiter. Good Friday. On Friday is usually a holiday here, but not everyone is forced to have that as a legal holiday here in America. And then we don't have, correct me guys if I'm wrong, we don't have Easter Monday off here in America, right? But yeah, in Germany we have Easter Monday off, Easter Sunday, Easter Monday. And many holidays during the Easter time are mandatory holidays in Germany, like federal holidays where people don't have to work, but it's a little bit different here in America. Man kriegt hier nicht so viele Feiertage leider, die Nacht hier in Amerika. Sound like Diane Krüger? I mean, she's German, so I guess. Do you have any friends in Miami, German friends? Sorry guys, I'm gonna catch up with you with the messages. What's Nash like? I only spent a brief time there, but I'm not a city guy. Yeah, I'm not a huge city person anymore. I used to live in Beijing in China, and that was the biggest I ever did, apart from Hong Kong, city-wise, and I loved it for a certain limited time. But living, like having like my house there or my main point of life forever, I need to have the countryside for that. But Nashville, very loud, a lot of obnoxious people, but also very nice people, welcoming, very warm-hearted, but a lot of cowgirls and cowboys, in quotation marks, not real ones, but they have the hats, they got the boots, and the buckle belts. They certainly like to look like them, or like them cowboys and cowgirls, but I highly doubt they actually are. Some of them might be, but it's just like a style, you know, here. Honky tonk, it's like the bars with the live music, and you do a lot of bar hopping, and I did that too when I was here new. I really enjoyed that for a couple times, but now that I did it a few times, I'm good for a while. Like I usually do that like once a year, and then I'm good for the rest of the year. But I'm not a huge party person anymore at all. Und die Nacht, bist du schon bereit für Ostern? Hast du schon Pläne für Ostern? Feiert ihr mit der Familie oder wie sieht es bei euch aus? You should feel his loss. We do, yeah. I'll think about him every day. Do you have any German friends in Miami? I don't have any German friends in Miami. I don't have any German friends here, to be real, here in America. I never really met any German here. Well, that's not true. I met 2 Germans when I worked in a German cafe here, but very unfriendly people, and I never came back after my first week of working there. I was like, nope, not for me. Very unfriendly. Just the German cold shoulder, as you call it, but all the bad traits of a German in one person. I couldn't handle it. My busy time at work was Christmas Eve. Oh, really? People take planned leaves in this week to be with the family. Yeah, you can. I think some companies give you the option to take the Good Friday off and the Easter days. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. Nashville is nice, good, fun party place. Outside of Nashville is very beautiful and scenic. Yeah, I'm outside of Nashville. I'm more in the country, just because it's insanely expensive to live in Nashville, and I couldn't do it. It's just too much for me, too loud. Bin bei meiner Freundin und wir machen gutes Essen gemeinsam. Sehr schön. Freut mich zu hören. Was gibt's? Habt ihr schon Pläne, was es gibt zu essen? Habt ihr besonderes Osteressen? Wir haben, glaube ich, immer Senfeier gemacht. Ich glaube, Senfeier mache ich vielleicht hier im Stream demnächst. Jetzt, wo bald Ostern ist. Ich glaube, viele Amerikaner kennen das nicht. I was just talking to die Nacht, a German friend of me and Marco. And Marco and me. Der Esel nennt sich selbst zuerst. About Easter, like the traditions, what they're gonna eat, and what I'm gonna do on Easter. But I was talking about making some mustard sauce eggs. It's a very German meal. I think it's East German, right? Die Nacht. I think it's a DDR food. But yeah, it's a very traditional German food, very simple, but I thought for Easter it might be a cool recipe that we can cook together, or I can show you. You don't have to cook it together if you don't want to, but it's delicious and it's very German. Am liebsten Sauerbraten. Oh, yummy. Sauerbraten is good. Hey, Shuriken. How are you doing? We got a new friend here. Happy lunchtime stream. Thank you. Welcome back. And yeah, we got a new friend here. His name is Shazab. He's a cool guy. I told him he fits right in. So I think we'll have a good time together. Fun year at work. Well, it is work time. What are you guys all doing? It is 11. Oh, well, I'm not at work myself, but I'll work a little bit later. Today is my late day of work. I start late and I finished late, so I'll be home long after it got dark. Let's leave it there. You took a short break between calls and I've got a 12:15 call waiting for me. Oh, well, thank you for spending your little break with us, Fanny. I appreciate it. I was happy to see you here. Same with Shuriken and everyone else, of course. In die Nacht. But it sucks I don't miss the US work culture at all. Yeah, I don't think anyone would, to be honest. I think later on, I don't know, it really depends on how it turns out here with getting a piece of land, how established I can get here. But retirement-wise, welfare-wise, Germany might be a better option. But we'll see if it's gonna be America long-term or Germany. For now, it's probably America, but we'll see. A lot of factors going into that equation that you have to think about. I work remote, just that, but technically at work always. Nice, very cool. That is my my goal, to make my YouTube one day work. Not because I want to make money off YouTube, that's not the goal. But if YouTube could become my work one day, that would be amazing, just so I could go see my family in Germany more often and could still do my work, you know, and combine that. That would be the ultimate dream. And yeah, just for me and my family, you know, that would be amazing. I already said that earlier. So I hope I can do remote work. I did remote work as a recipe creator and a food photographer during my time in university, so I could work from the place where I went to university or when I visited my family back home in the Black Forest. So I could just work from all places, which was amazing. So remote work is definitely where it's at, no matter what business it is. Really good for you guys. I'm glad you both can do the remote work and you're not bound to a place. Are you planning on doing your nails? Not right now. Like, my nails are pretty much good right now, but I used to paint my nails all the time, like my hands and my toes, but at the moment I'm just have too much stuff going on to focus on that. Need to skedaddle. I had to stop in and say hi. Thank you so much, Rika. We appreciate it. Have a good afternoon yourself, and thank you for tuning in. And see you next time. And have a great day. Thank you, Eric. Given that I've worked in toxic Indian, crazy UK, work culture, US, work culture is the least work culture that I've experienced. Really? So UK is more crazy, you'd say, and Indian is also toxic? Okay, I've learned something new. Well, if you get citizenship, best to stay in US because you'd pay US tax anyway. That is true. Good point. And work culture, the worst that I know from what I heard is definitely in Japan and China, I think, or Korea, like East Asian countries. I think they're just crazy. Bye, die Nacht, ciao. Die Sonne ist jetzt weg und ich kann mein Auto waschen, gibt keine Wasserflecken. Ah, okay. Ja, du und Marco und eure Autos. Viel Spaß beim Autowaschen. Manchmal ist es toll, wenn man Zeit hat für sowas zum Aufräumen oder Autowaschen. Ich bin immer froh, wenn mein Mann arbeitet und ich den Tag frei habe und in der Wohnung rumhantieren kann und meine Sachen machen kann. Das macht mich auch immer glücklich. Aber ja, viel Spaß beim Autowaschen die Nacht. Man sieht sich hoffentlich nächstes Mal. Frohe Ostern, falls wir uns nicht mehr sehen vorher. We have a friend named Marco who does modeling and beautiful nails and feet in case if you're interested, which can be found at the channel. Yes, he's barefoot quite often too. Funny, did you watch his shorts where he's like dropping the clothes and I'm like, oh no, what's coming next? I was like watching like this, you know, like this. But it was very funny in the end, as usual. Funny, I guess you got lucky. You working in tech. Auf Ostern für dich und deinen Mann. Dankeschön, die Nacht. An dich und deine Freunde natürlich auch. Und die Familie. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Ich hoffe, es ist nicht zu kalt in Deutschland aktuell, aber sollte hoffentlich okay sein im April. It's 12:16 out. Okay, bye, Funny. Yeah, you guys can hopefully talk next time. I hope the time difference is not too crazy between Pakistan and America and Germany. I always have like those three countries most. India, which is the same time zone as Pakistan. Those time zones are most prominent here in my community. So I hope I'll find a good time, you know, where we can all be there at the same time. But I most often stream here in the evening in America. And oh, you work US time. All right, okay, very cool. Stay safe, fast-paced, and family-like in the job description. Is steer clear? Haha. Fast-paced, yeah. Family-like. So family-like. Yep, you never know. I'm glad I just got my little job here for my local community, and it's nothing crazy stressful. It is really annoying when it comes to taxes, but yeah. We'll see. Maybe one day I will change my job into something else, but for now I'm having a good time just teaching our seniors yoga or exercise, doing exercise class and all that stuff, and working with children. It's rewarding, and I'm glad for now I didn't go the route of becoming a business person in China, which I was aiming for originally, but I don't know. I could still imagine living in Hong Kong for a little bit and going there, or even in China, but I don't think I could imagine living there for like years and years. Yeah, I don't know. Just many things I don't agree with anymore, but that's in all countries. That's not just there. That's the same thing in America sometimes. There's many things I don't agree with, but I guess you have that everywhere, no matter where you go. So that's just part of life. Corporate is ruthless. Yes, I talked about that with Funny yesterday. We had the same topic. I agree, and you have to work for a company that you don't agree with, like with their values and many things, you know. A lot of downsides to work corporate, but obviously having money is also a nice thing, and you can do good things with money. So it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Can't blame anyone to work in corporate, because that's just where the money is, and that's what society tells us that we need, and it's actually what we do need. It's just not as simple as that. Like, people that say something like they don't need money are in a very privileged position, because that's definitely not the case for most people. I feel like people can only say that if they already have a big chunk of money. That's when people can say, I don't need money, I don't care about money. But yeah. I think I'm heading to work in like 10 minutes. It's almost 11:30 here, so I have to be there in a little bit, because I still gotta get my hours in and prepare some stuff for there. I'm cooking a dinner tonight. We're having a ritual later, like that sounds pretty weird. A ritual, it sounds like I'm in a weird cult or something, but we're just trying to show what happened during the Passover. We're just trying to like incorporate different religions or show different religions cultures or rituals. So we'll show what back then happened during the Passover. So there will be a Messianic Jew coming over and show how the meal is prepared, like the matzo bread, and like it's gonna be some bitter herbs and stuff. So we have to prepare all that kind of stuff. So I think it's always interesting to learn from different cultures and religions and see what they do and what their traditions are. So I love, learning that and being open-minded about that and just seeing what other people are doing to understand them better and all that. But yeah, it was a pleasure as well. I appreciate it. Welcome, Shazab, to the crazy family or the crazy gang. We're glad you're here. I love that about the US, that it's so multicultural and there's so many different religions and all that. Melting pot of culture, for sure. I love that too. Yeah, definitely a great aspect about the US, for sure. Everyone is allowed to openly live their culture, religion, and everything, which is really great. I agree. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me and for cooking food with me or with Oscar. And catch you next time. Be safe out there. You too. Enjoy the mountain, enjoy nature, and be safe yourself. And thank you so much, and have a good rest of your work day. I know you're still working US hours, and I'll try to do the same. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Thank you so much again for hanging out.